Racing on Tuesday takes place at Fairview on the Poly track. Let's get straight into the action. Informed Grant Paddock on the line. How are you doing, Grant? And I believe you've been tipping the winners.
Yeah, morning Sheldon, morning punters. Yeah, very good day Friday, 6 out of 8 with 2 places after that. But you're only as good as your last meeting, and hopefully tomorrow we can put the punters in the right direction.
Kicking off with the first race, talking about putting them in the right direction. Quite a competitive opener.
Yeah, 100%. Tricky little maiden juvenile place. Started the bike pot. This horse, Sweet and True from the Sharon Cotton Yard, first run back after gelding. I see they've slapped the blinkers on to sharpen him up, brought him back in trip to the 1200. It's got to be a bit of a runner. Fantasy Girl as well. Same story there. The blinkers go off last time out. She over-raced, and they brought her back in trip as well. She's got to be a runner too. And then the horse they probably have to beat is the number 1, Nike's Ray of Light, holding steady form, got a 1-draw, strong jockey up, and he's probably the horse to beat in the race. The bike, you can go 1 and 6 will get you through, and I've tipped it 1, 6, 3, and 4.
Right, let's speedily move on to race number 2, where number 1, Consigliere, is the 5-2 favourite. Number 2, Hot Hat, is at 5-2, so we have joint favourites. And then number 6, My True Love, 28-10. Congested betting market there, but you bankering number 2 with Samanga Kamalo, Hot Hat.
Yeah, his polyform is good enough to run in the first 3. Sheldon, there's no doubt, 2 very good runs on the poly, and I actually think from a 1-draw he'll take a bit of beating. The newcomer House of Sussex with the Cape Town form has to be respected, especially with Louis up. You know, you don't have to be too good to run a decent race in a field like this. And then My True Love's horse is probably going to go out and make the place a very quick filly. Got the blinkers on this time out. Back in trip, they'll probably try and pinch a race like this, definitely in the places. I've tipped it 2, 4, 6, and 1.
Right, let's move on to race number 3, and Grant is opening the batting with 2 bankers. You are bankering number 10 with Richard Fourie.
That is correct. La Pequanita, the filly against the boys. Not concerned about the draw. Richard tends, if he wants to go to the front, he'll go. If he drop in, he'll do that. She's got the right form in the race. Another very, very shallow field. Port Cullis, the only real danger with Kamala up back in trip for him. He just didn't see that 2,000 out last time out. The mile probably a touch better. But he's going to have to run to beat La Pequanita. She's a strong first choice in the bipot, and only 2 horses in the pick 6 here will be 6 and 10. But I'm tipping at 10, 6, 2, and 5, Sheldon.
Super, as we move on to race number 4, which will be the halfway mark once it is run, and they're betting 22-10 the field here. Now looking at your numbers, you're leaning with numbers 2, 4, and 8. So tell us a bit more.
Yeah, Sheldon, tricky kind of a race, I must be honest with you. The 2 just won a maiden, but won it super, super impressively. And the big factor here, he's got a good draw, as well as the 4-claimer Nervin Nastidi, who's riding very well lately. So that almost negates that out of the maiden run. And I'm actually tipping him to win this, Sheldon. It's a very tricky race. Catch your breath. Fully against the boys, carrying 59 with Richard up, ran on very nicely last time out over 1,300. We'll really enjoy the step up to the mile. And then we got Godfather, who was caught out wide last time out, and he can only improve. I see they have taken the blinkers off, which is going to be improved. And then a horse like Reach for the Star and Meet at the Windsor also needs to go in. I've tipped it 2, 4, 8, and 6. The 5 needs to go into the pick 6 as well.
Rightio, let's move on to race number 5 as we move on to the second half of the program. And once again, Richard Fourie and Samanga Kamalo, they on the top 2 favourites. Number 2, For All We Know, at 3-1. Number 4, Sun Spectacular, 33-10. And then number 3, Global Rush, is at 9-2. Now let's touch on for number 2, For All We Know, Richard Fourie, 60.5 kilograms, the 5-year-old mare versus the 3-year-old with 59.5 on the back, Sun Spectacular.
Yeah, Sheldon, very, very tricky race this. Those top two are vulnerable, there's no doubt. Sun Spectacular, definitely better on the grass. I would have preferred her on the grass. Her poly form has been very moderate. She got a back end of Cortez. For all we know, shocking run last time out, but that was on the grass. She's back onto her favourite surface. Unfortunately, a wide draw with 60.5 on her back. I like the horse at the bottom of the way. She's exceptionally good value, number 10, Duolona. I think she's a massive runner. Very solid front-running filly. Nervin Nastili up 52.5 on her back. She'll take some catching down the straight, there's no doubt. A horse like Raising Quinn can improve, so too can Global Rush, there's no doubt. And Opera Swing never knows how to run a bad race on the poly. I've tipped at 10, 2, 4, 3, and you need to add in the 1 and the 9 in the pick 6.
There you've heard the numbers from Grant Paddock as we reach into race number 6, and this is due off at 15:15. So that's the time you need to have your bets on. If you're looking to have a win bet, a place bet, if you're looking to play a quartet, and then just looking, it's a 92 handicap for the fillies and mares, and on this occasion they'll do battle over 1,200 meters. Just having a look at the runners here, you've elected to banker number 4, Miss Green Light. She's a 5-year-old bay mare, a daughter of Gimme the Green Light. Richard Ferree from a 2 draw. And just looking at the Cape form, that penultimate run, 4th to Paris Lass, that was on the poly. And then last time out at Fairview, 2nd to Pineapple Mint Green. But earlier on the Cape was there or thereabouts. But the new home seems to have found this one in good stead.
Yeah, Sheldon, very, very nice filly. Those last 2 runs were both in listed races. She got a 9-point penalty for her last run, but she was nominated already for this race, and she's running off her old rating, so she's actually 4.5 kilos better off than anything else in the race. Absolute penalty kick, wrong price at 5-2. I think she'll start a lot shorter. Definitely the best bet on the card, there's no doubt. If she brings any one of her last 2 runs, she's a good thing. She's been on the surface, got Richard up 2 draw, and he climbed off a horse called Go Check with Love, which he won very easily, and to get onto Miss Green Light, that will definitely give us the green light. Bankering all bets, I'm tipping at 4, 6, 10, and 1.
Right, so there you've got the confidence, and the informed Grant Paddock opened up 28-10, is now currently at 5-2, and running in those listed races and some quality company. Grant Paddock suggests that the 5-2, definitely worth having a go on the nose, and you probably find race time 14, maybe even a little bit shorter. Let's move on to the next heat, which will be race number 7, and race number 7 has number 6. The Mauritian at 5-2, number 2 Fairy Night is 4-1, and then number 1 Prince of Fire is trading around 5-1. How do you make race number 7, Grant?
Sheldon, tricky kind of a race. The top horse in the race is probably number 1, Prince of Fire. He's coming back from a break. He hasn't really had a break. He stayed in full training. It just wasn't a race for him. And when they did nominate him, he drew in the bush. So he's got a decent draw. He's got the Ampion taking the 4 if he comes in with 58 kilos from a good draw. He's got to be a massive runner. Loves course and distance. And he was the top poly horse last year over the season. So big runner. Inherit the Rain doesn't know how to run a bad race on the poly, and so too the Mauritian's got to be a massive runner. I think the winner will come from those 3. I've tipped at 6, 3, 1, and 7. If people want to go a little bit wider, you might add in slings and arrows. I think Fairy Night coming back in trip and after a break probably just going to need the run, especially from that 8 draw. So 6, 3, 1, and 7, Sheldon.
That'll take us into the 8th and final event. All things being equal, should jump at 16.25, and hopefully the horses have arrived that Grant has tipped, and you're in the pound seat, and you'll be playing for free. They are betting 4-1 the field in the last race, which suggests it's an open affair. Number 9, Puerto Plata, is 4-1. Number 11, Canny Mambo, 4-1. And then number 3, Euphoric. Number 7, He Knows, both at 7-1. The Kelly Mitchley stable, which you're closely associated with, is sending out Canny Mambo. And the question is, can this one Mambo into the number 1 box?
Sheldon, yes, keep the paces on. And if I look at this race, I think there's going to be a heap of pace. Alado's tried with the Appy on. He's definitely going to go up there. It's only one way that he knows how to race. He knows also goes very hard up front. So too Jaspero. Cold for Africa on that hand also goes up there. And Kanimamba will have something to aim at. There's no doubt. He's definitely my first choice. I think he's the right horse in the race, especially off a nice galloping weight of 54.5. But not an easy race to finish off. I have brassed the joint favourite Puerto Plata. His last two runs, he really didn't move well, and you need to have a look at him go to the start before you get involved in having a bet on him. Euphoric doesn't know how to run a bad race as well. So tricky kind of a race to finish off with, Sheldon. I've gone 11, 2, 7 and 10, but in the pick six, you're going to have to add the 1 and the 4.
Well, thanks very much, Grant. We're going to bring up the suggested bets on the card, and you're going to go through them. And I know you're going to go with number 4, Miss Greenlight at 5-2 as you're recording as your best bet. So hopefully the punters are going to lump on and it comes home. So take it away, Grant.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. Best bet, race 6, number 4, Miss Greenlight. My value bet, race 5, number 10, Diolona. And my suggested best, the place accumulator goes as follows. We open up with a banker of 2, by banker 10, by 2, 4 and 8, by 2 and 10, by banker 4, by 1, 3 and 6, by 2, 7, 10, 11 for 72 Rand.
Well, thanks very much, Grant. As always, the punters and everybody really value your input, and you're more than often on the button than not, and let's hopefully that form continues. So once again, thank you very much for your input.
Thank you very much, Sheldon. Good luck to those punters tomorrow. Goodbye.
Thanks very much to Grant Paddock on the line. He's given you all the suggested bets, and now let's hope those horses do it for you on the track.